So many women talk about wanting a high-value dream man.
It has been several years. Where are all the good men?
I wanted to know what needs to be done to attract a high value man.
Okay, so if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Where are all the good men hiding? Where have all the good men gone?
A lot of women today are asking the question, where are all the good men? I personally think that a lot of people confuse a good man with what is called a high value man. Although it's not impossible for a good man to be a high value man, it is very hard to do because both may have a conflicting worldview. So what is the definition of a high value man? A high value man is usually defined on what women are saying they want on the dating market. Usually the attributes of a high value man are a man that has lots of money or is very rich. He is over 6 feet tall, very handsome, has a very high social status, has a very athletic or strong body, has a lot of options, or has his pick of the litter. This type of man usually considers himself or is seen as what is called an alpha male. Although these attributes don't necessarily make someone a bad person, they can easily fall into the trap of having a big ego or become very prideful in their own self. They usually state that they got to that level by their own hard work and think no one but themselves. What is the definition of a good man? This is a deeper question because it really depends on the definition of good and how we can determine if a man has attributes of goodness. From a Christian perspective, the term good and evil are objective. Personally, I cannot see how this term can be subjective because then it would be determined on the human mind. From a Christian perspective, a good man would be a man who is loyal to his wife, loves his wife, works hard for his family, a good father, selfless, stoic, romantic, loves and submits to God above all. The reason I think it's hard for a high value man to be a good man is because some of these alpha male types are not loyal to their wives because they have options, temptations, and may not hold to a religious principle to be monogamous. They may not necessarily work hard for their family, but instead work hard for their own ego. They think being a good father is having lots of money to buy their children nice things and teaching them values that they subjectively believe are good instead of what is actually good. They view being romantic to their woman as simping. They don't submit and love God above all, but they submit to money and value that before everything. As I stated, it is not impossible for a high value man to also be a good man, but it is a very hard thing to do, especially if society is telling you the opposite. And if the ability and the temptation is there for your taking. What do you think?